Yo, what's up guys? This is Victor here with Updato.com. Today we're going to be checking out the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus camera. So if you're considering to pick up this phone and you want to check out the camera before you purchase it, then this is definitely the video for you. Or if you just want to watch a camera review, then yeah, stay tuned. Let's get right into this video. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get the specs out the way. The S10 Plus is rocking a 12 megapixel sensor, which has dual aperture setup, so it's capable of shooting at f1.5 and f2.4. There's also another 12 megapixel optically zoomed telephoto lens, which has an aperture f2.4, and a new 16 megapixel ultra wide lens, which has an aperture f2.2. As for the front, you also have multiple cameras here. First one being the main 10 megapixel selfie camera, which has an aperture of f1.9, and the second camera is an 8 megapixel RGB depth camera, which is basically going to help you get those nice blurry backgrounds. Now that we've knocked down the specs, let's go ahead and shoot with the brand new Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, and let's see how it performs in the real world. Okay, so for the back camera, we went ahead and shot some macros, portraits, landscapes, and some videos with all three different modes. So let's take a look at the pics we shot with the rear camera. The first thing I noticed is how natural the colors look on here. In the past, Samsung's image processing would oversaturate the colors, but they've gotten much better. So taking a look at the pictures from the main camera, I was impressed with how sharp and detailed the images were. Even looking at the shadows and highlights, there's still a pretty good amount of detail here. The HDR does a wonderful job in balancing out the shadows and highlights. However, in certain images, they can look a little bit unnatural. Using the low aperture mode on the camera allows for a decent amount of bokeh when shooting macros, and I was quite impressed with that f1.5 aperture. And speaking of that f1.5 aperture, you're able to get some pretty detailed night shots, but nothing still beats the night mode on the Pixel 3. So as I mentioned earlier, you also have an ultra wide angle and a telephoto mode. The wide angle shots are a little less sharp, but the image processing is practically the same, and the telephoto camera allows for some pretty zoomed shots, and it actually does a pretty decent job at maintaining detail. Now moving on to the video side of things, here are some 4K shots at 60 FPS that I got with the camera, so it's for you to decide if you think it looks good or not. Moving on to the front camera, the pictures on here are pretty detailed as well, much more detailed than an iPhone camera, and I'm an iPhone user myself. And sometimes with this camera, you do kind of want to turn on that beauty mode that comes shipped with a lot of Samsung phones and other Chinese manufacturers who make phones. That beauty mode feature comes in clutch because this front-facing camera is extremely detailed and it will show those pimples, especially if your face is breaking out. So you might want to turn on that beauty mode. Portrait mode works pretty well on here, which you would expect since there are two cameras on here. Here's a quick little vlog style video I got with the front facing camera so you can have an idea of how it's going to perform in the real world. Okay, so now I'm doing a quick video test on the front facing camera on the Galaxy S10 Plus, and you could test the audio quality, see if you like it or something like that. If you like the video quality, this is stock, this is raw footage. I have not touched this at all. I have not touched the sound quality either, so if you're liking the colors, I'm actually going to walk real quick so you can have an idea of like how it's going to do, like if you're walking, how stabilized it's going to be. And as you can see on the exposure, it's doing it pretty good at keeping both of us pretty well exposed, and the dynamic range looks pretty great, and that's also because we're facing away from the sunlight. So let's look around and let's face towards the sunlight, and as you can see, I'm a little bit underexposed. Not the best dynamic range, but it's going to get the job done. And that's gonna do for this video. This has been Victor with Updato.com. If you wanna check me out outside of YouTube, then follow me on Twitter and Instagram at VictorsFits. If you're considering picking up this phone, then let me know down in the comment section. If you have any feedback or questions, leave it in the comment section as well. This has been Victor, again, with another Updato video. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye.